Hello everyone. This Sunday's Gospel reading is the story of the healing by Jesus of a leper in the first chapter of Mark's Gospel. It never fails to move and fascinate me whenever I read it, whenever I hear it being read. Two aspects of the story move me. Firstly, it's the condition of the leper. As the first reading from the book of Leviticus tells us, a leper was excluded by the law of Moses from society, condemned to live outside the camp, the village, and the town, wearing torn clothing, with hair dishevelled, and shouting, "Unclean, unclean." Secondly, it's the compassion of Jesus that moves me. The translation we use at Mass speaks of him feeling sorry for him, while another translation puts it, he was moved with pity. But an alternative rendering of the original Greek tells us that Jesus was stirred with anger, presumably at the appalling conditions in which this man had to live. Whichever translation we favour, Jesus not only heals the man, he does the unthinkable. He reaches out and he touches him. Now, how much that touch says about the God whom Jesus reveals. He is the one whose compassion reaches out and touches all those whom society rejects, not only then, but now. What is it that fascinates me about this story? It's the fact that Jesus tells the leper to keep what has happened to him a secret. Again and again in Mark's Gospel, Jesus tells those whom he heals to keep to themselves what has happened to them. Why does he do this? Reading recently a book by Rowan Williams, a remarkable book called Meeting God in Mark, that set me thinking. Jesus tells people to keep what he has done a secret because he wanted to avoid misunderstandings. He does not want to be widely known as a miracle worker. To be thought of this way would be a distraction. Of course, to say that his miracles didn't matter would be quite wrong. They certainly mattered to the leper, the paralytic, the blind man, and to the many more whom Jesus healed. And they tell us something essential about Jesus. He is the man of compassion who reveals to us God's mercy. But something else matters more, and that is the relationship of trust, dependence, and reliance on God which is stirred up in those who encounter him. Jesus wants men and women to know that God is with them, alongside them, even in the darkest and most difficult conditions and moments of life. It's this relationship of trust in the God who acted even in the pain and apparent failure of Jesus by raising him to life after his death on the cross that will transform the followers of Jesus and which through them will transform the world. Now, what might this gospel have to say to you and me today? Well, it makes me think about those whom society rejects. Pope Francis has written about how exclusion from the community is the most painful poverty of all. Do I keep such people at arm's length, or can I follow the example of Jesus and in some way reach out and touch them? Maybe even more than that, we are being asked to focus on how an encounter with Jesus can stir up in us that trust, that dependence on God, which through us can indeed transform the world. Perhaps this Lent, we can make a point of getting to know Jesus that much more. Then our relationship with him will be deeper, our trust in him will be stronger, and we'll be more able to live like him in the world today, not least by reaching out and touching those whom today, like this leper, long ago, society rejects. Day by day, dear Lord, three things we pray: to see thee more clearly, to love thee more dearly, and to follow thee more nearly day by day. Goodbye.